KNOC. It is the Hard Rockology Show with Chris, Matt, and Jason. And that was some music from Bang Tango from the album Pistol Whipped in the Bible Belt. The song was called Suck It Up. And on the phone with us, we have bassist Lance Eric from the band. Eric, welcome to the Hard Rockology Show.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Just got done with the tour, or are you guys busy writing new material? What's going on with the band right now?
Yeah, we just did a little few days out in Germany. Did a couple dates out there, a couple sold-out shows. Came back here, and we have off for a few months doing some writing for the next record, follow-up to Pistol Whip, and we're pretty much off until the new year, and coming out blazing with the new album and that cruise and everything else.
Much needed time of rest, right?
Absolutely. Ever since I've been in the band, we've never had this much time off. You know, it's good and it's bad, you know. But, yeah, definitely much needed, and just kind of recharge the batteries and do what needs to be done.
You guys play like about over 200 shows a year, it seems, right?
It's a lot. It's quite a bit, yeah. I mean, we're road dogs, brother. I mean, we go out and we play quite a bit. You know, not too many bands in our genre do that many and actually go out there and play as much as we do all week long and go out for a month at a time. But we're out there doing it.
So being on the road so much, is there certain parts of the world that embrace this kind of music more than others?
Absolutely. Overseas is, you know, for the 80s music, 80s type music, kind of the genre that we're still in, it's huge over there. It's, like I said, Germany, our album is doing really well over in Germany. That's why we were able to go over there and do a few shows, sell some albums, sell some merch, and, you know, have some really good shows over there. Definitely Europe, definitely you know, Germany and you know, all the UK. It still embraces this type of music, you know, as well as different parts of the US too.
The one thing I am excited about, being a Bang Tango fan from back in the late 80s, early 90s, is there's a movie coming out about the band. Is that correct?
Yeah. He's Drew has been filming us. He's a film student. He's directing and filming, and he's got like pretty much over 300 hours worth of footage, and still filming actually. But he started at the very beginning about a year ago, a little bit more than a year ago, when we started doing the Pistol Whip album. He was there in the airport as Joe and I landed in Chicago, and filmed from there. Filmed the whole 3 weeks we're in the studio. He's flown out to shows that we've done in L.A. and Kansas City. He's interviewed a lot of former members, friends of ours that we toured with. He's interviewed fans of ours, non-fans, and people never heard of us. So it's going to be pretty good, I think. Yeah,
I saw the trailer, and they were playing some music from their Bang Tango Love After Death record, and I thought that was kind of interesting. And then the trailer looks really interesting too.
Yeah, there's about 4 trailers he's put out so far. They're all 4 are kind of different, and you know, I'm kind of trying to figure out how it's going to go too. I haven't seen it all. I've just seen snippets of it, but yeah, he's like I said, he's done a lot of interviews with the former members and as well as, you know, us too. But I'm kind of interested to see how it's all going to be laid out.
So that'll be coming out sometime in 2013, right?
I believe just probably around the same time we're releasing the new record, which would be at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, that'd be perfect timing. Perfect.
Yeah, totally. There's a lot of hilarious stuff in it. I mean, it's, you know, we're a bunch of partiers, and just, you know, we joke around with each other, and there's so much funny stuff on there. I mean, if you've seen some of the trailers, you even see me on the toilet on one of them. I did a whole interview sitting on the can.
Was it one of those porta potty things, or was it actual talk?
No, it was actually in the studio. It was a real elaborate studio. It was kind of my idea. I said, hey, why don't you do a whole interview, a real serious interview with me, but pan in on me, you know, just my chest up, and we did this whole interview, and then at the very end, he just pans away, and you see the whole time I've been
Classic. Classic.
I don't think that's ever been done before, so that'll definitely work in the movie.
That's how we are, man. We love to have fun, and we joke around. We're just a bunch of partiers.
Well, I have to ask you, because we just came from the was it Nokia Theater in L.A. I saw The Darkness there a couple weeks back, and my brother had a little adventure in the bathroom where he went to, relieve himself.
It wasn't really an adventure, Matt.
Well, yeah, it was an adventure because there's that, those little shelves you put your beer on over the urinal?
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually hit his head on that twice. So we're trying to figure that out. So I guess the question is, in the studio, did you guys have one of those shelves too for your beer over the toilet?
Since you guys are partiers.
Yeah, since you guys are partiers.
Yeah, we don't usually have time to sit. Our beers are done before we have time to sit them down. So, not usually. Joe, on the other hand, he spills everything.
Oh God! No, I saw him years ago when they were touring for their. Was it Live After Death?
No, Love After Death.
Love After Death, and phenomenal show. That was actually with the original members, and I think that was actually one of the last shows they actually did together. But
that was a while ago.
Yeah, I remember Joe there. He was
feeling no pain.
Feeling no pain, exactly. So, but
yeah, he likes to have fun.
But I wanted to ask you, Lance, because you've been in the band since what, 2005?
A little bit around there, yeah, somewhere right there, 8 or 9 years.
Yeah, so you've been actually one of the longer-standing members in the band currently. So
yeah, kind of longer than the original guys, obviously, but Joe. But yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that because I know you played on the From the Hip, which is 2006 album. Now, in between that album and Pistol Whipped in the Bible Belt, I mean, a lot of touring and stuff. What do you guys do in between those breaks?
Well, the reason why there was so much space in between albums is we were switching out guitar players and drummers like crazy. Switching out agencies. Joe and I left the old agency that he was with for quite a long time. We just got picked up by Big Time Entertainment, Sully and Chris, a few years ago, and so there was a period of there that we were switching guitar players and drummers, and so that was kind of hard. Joe and I live in Phoenix, Arizona. Now our guitar player lives in Boston. Our drummer Trent, he lives in Chicago. So, but those guys have been with us for a long time. It's a really tight unit, but that's basically what it was. It was just we were still playing, but we were getting temporary guys.
Are you
filling in on guitar?
Yeah. Are you guys getting good response from the new material, or the fans still wanting to hear the
original 3 album material?
Exactly. So
we still give them that. We give them quite a bit of the old stuff. We played a lot from the first 2 albums. We play a lot of those songs. We're actually going to start doing some from. We're going to do Generation from Live After Death.
Yeah, My Generation.
My Generation. We're going to do a couple of those off of that. But we do a lot of the old stuff. We're throwing in new stuff. So our set list is about an hour and a half right now, so we play quite a long time. But we've been getting a lot of good response from the new album. It's kind of a little bit old school, still the same funk stuff, and but now we got some southern feel in there too.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. You're currently working with his name escapes me. Jesse. Jesse
James Dupree.
Oh no, actually. Well, that's just maybe one of the studio possibilities that we are venturing. Johnny Blade is a co-writer of the last record. He helped us write a lot of it. He wrote some of the songs completely. Really good friend of ours. Amazing songwriter. He lives down in Georgia. He's friends with Roman from Jackal and Jets. All them. They're really good friends of ours, so they offer their studio. So we're kind of just kind of weighing our options of where to go to record the next one. We really want to work with Johnny again because we basically want to do basically a part 2 of Pistol Whip because we have so many songs left over from that, and that album did so well, for what it was. We want to kind of keep going on that. So probably that would be, it's a little too early to figure that out. We're still kind of in a erotic process right now. So.
No, I will say this, though. Having been a big Bang Tango fan and Beautiful Creatures, I would say this. The new album is definitely, it's starting to bring back some of the older sound and incorporating some new sounds, too, which is good to hear. So I'm definitely glad you guys are still putting out albums and putting out music, so.
Most definitely, yeah. That's what you gotta do. Gotta do to eat.
This is the Hard Rockology Show. We're talking with Lance Eric of Bang Tango. And Lance, I wanted to ask you, the band I noticed on your Facebook page got something set up for the victims of Hurricane Sandy. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
On my page?
It's on the Bang Tango page on Facebook. I just thought I'd bring it up since a lot of people on the East Coast.
You threw me for a loop. I don't even know it's on there.
Well, maybe you didn't know. But anyway...
I didn't actually, to be honest with you.
Well, it's on the Bang Tango Facebook page, so if anybody wants any information on helping out the victims of Hurricane Sandy, you can go to their page and check it out. Another question. I only have like 20 of them here.
That's no problem, no problem.
Since you guys are big partiers, did you... I noticed that YouTube video when you guys were on a cruise or something and Joe was getting sick on stage. Have you seen that video?
Well, I was actually there.
Yeah, I know you were there, but I mean, I just wondered, did you go back and actually watch it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Because, I mean, it was like, I think you were playing Someone Like You or something, and he was just like a trooper. He was getting sick behind where the drums were off the side of the stage, and you guys were just playing the intro of the song for about, 5 minutes or so?
It ended up being a 9-minute version of that song. I got everybody in the crowd to actually sing the verses and the choruses, and then after the solo, and Joe didn't even come back yet, he came back in and did the whole song himself. But, no, that wasn't, as a matter of fact, that wasn't we're professional partiers.
Yeah.
We don't get sick. That was actually a seasick kind of thing. We all were kind of feeling a little weird, and that was only about 2 hours into the shove-off, and he did the whole show. I mean, we weren't even hardly drinking at that point, but he just, it overcame him, and he was getting seasick. We're on stage, and, I don't know if you've ever been on a cruise, but you kind of need your, we call them butt legs, and especially on stage, you got to kind of go with the flow. And I was feeling a little queasy playing up there myself, but,
Well,
he's the singer and noticed him, but actually the only people in the front row even knew what was going on.
Yeah. But being on a cruise, I understand exactly what you mean, because when you're out to sea and the boat's just moving along or whatever, you can feel the motion, and you guys are on stage moving around, and it's got to be a totally different experience.
Totally, yeah. I've been on cruises myself. I've never played on one. That was the first time, but yeah, we were just feeling it a little bit, and it overcame him. And luckily, if it had been at the very end of the set, he almost made it through the whole set, But it made it for good video.
Yeah, it was a good video, and you guys just
everyone thinks he got sick from partying, but no, we never do that.
Okay, you're setting the record straight. All right,
absolutely. Great. It was definitely 100% seasick.
Now, I haven't had a chance to actually be on one of those rock cruises that they're currently doing. I know they're fairly big right now. So, what's it like actually from your perspective playing in a band? And I guess after the show, there's really no place for you guys to go except spend time with the fans. So, what's that experience like?
It's obviously different per band and how they want to react with the fans. And there's places to go that you don't have to, but. From a band's perspective, it's such an amazing idea. It's a really good idea. Obviously, for fans, it's pretty amazing too. You get to. What's cool for me is that a lot of these bands I'm fans of, so I'm kind of on the ship as a fan myself. I just have to work a couple of times. And, but what's cool is, they have all these stages all over the ships. There's little bars and lounges and the ballroom, and then there's a big stage on the top. And all the bands are, playing, all the time. And what's cool is you can, stumble in this bar late at night, at midnight, and, some of the guys are setting up for an all-star jam, like George Lynch and the guys from Tesla and stuff are just doing them. So it's really cool,
Nice.
You don't really know what to expect. But, you got all the fans there, but there's places to go if you don't want to, you don't want to chill out and just cool off and be quiet for yourself. But like I said, the Bang Tango is just, we interact with our fans, constantly. So we're hanging out with them, but it's just a really, really good idea. It's Larry Moran, put all of this on, and we're fortunate to come back in March again. It's an even bigger cruise, but it's an awesome. It's a great idea.
I was going to ask you about that cruise coming up next spring. Who are some of the bands that are going to be on the cruise with you guys?
Yeah, they added. It's double from last year, or actually this year. But they get Cinderella's back, Tesla's back, Kicks. They added Queensryche, Anita Ford, Striper's back, Y&T, Loudness. Great White, Lynch Mob, Dangerous Toys, the reunion of Arcade.
Okay.
with Dean Piercy and Fred Corey, and then Nelson. My favorite, I'm looking forward to see, is the London Choir Boys are going to be on it. You know, like TNT, LA Guns, Rhino Bucket, you know, Faster, Pussycat, Enough's Enough, XYZ, Black and Blue.
Okay, so it sounds like a mix of all those bands coming out of the 80s on one cruise.
It's definitely an 80s themed cruise.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
But the most important question I have to ask, what's the beer prices on there? So if I'm going on this cruise and let's say if I want to buy you a beer on the cruise, how much is that going to put me back?
It goes on your Foley bill, dude.
Well, I want to know. Is it going to be like beer prices like when I go to a concert, like $10 a pop or what?
No, they're not like that. I mean, you don't even know until the end of the cruise.
Yeah, you won't get your bill until like it's like $500 for like 4 days or whatever.
No, I think I bought like a bucket of Coronas, which is like five Coronas, and I think it was like $20 or something.
That's not too bad.
It's not crazy outrageous.
No.
Like, yeah.
I mean, 'cause they got a captive audience, you know. What are you going to do? You can't go to the liquor store and pick up something.
He's never been on a cruise, so you got to help him out.
I mean, I didn't even hardly spend anything. There were so many fans willing to buy us stuff.
That's the deal. You just got to say you're with the band or you're in the band.
I'm thinking maybe we should do a hard rockology from the cruise. That way the fans can buy us stuff.
Yeah.
You would definitely have a blast, man. Just walk around with a concert T-shirt,
There you
go.
go.
Buy you something sooner or later.
Exactly.